what I do. I just look at women. I just, like they're, cakes and windows. I just, I was walking in New York once, and there's these two very cute women walking behind me, and I was trying to walk slowly so I could hear what they were saying to each other, because they were cute. So I wanted to hear them, like that's going to help me in any way to hear them. Don't you wish the guy walking in front of us would squeeze our tits for like 1 second? Okay. You very well. It's really a flaw in men that we would all do that. If you're a woman, you could ask any guy on planet Earth, can you squeeze my tit for 1 second? And 100% of us will go, oh yes, of course. That doesn't matter. I could be doing open heart surgery. Oh yeah, okay. Oh, don't worry, he's not your tits, don't worry about it. I don't know why we love tits so much. Some people say it's because we breastfeed, but so do women. Or, baby women. Not grown-up women don't usually. You don't see like a 68-year-old woman, like a stately look, like Sigourney Weaver, like sucking milk out of a young woman's tit. Thank you, Deborah. I'll see you tomorrow at 2 o'clock. It's not usually the thing, is the elderly breastfeeding from the young. Except for at the end of The Grapes of Wrath, which I don't mean to ruin that book for you, but you should have read it by now. I don't know if you read The Grapes of Wrath, but that's how it ends, with an old dying man sucking milk out of a young girl's tit. And then the book is over. And you're like, Jesus, what happened at the end there? That's crazy. There's no other book in that genre. There's no dense, historic classic that ends with a weird, porny paragraph at the very... And then Anna Karenina shat on his chest. Holy moly with that! The end. Oh my God! That is a violent shift in tone at the end of that book. I've been reading this book for 3 months. But we do, we love tits.
I was changing my daughter the other day, and she's too old for diapers now, but she's still in them, and it's bad because this kid does not poop. This kid craps. This is not okay anymore. I was changing her diaper the other day. It was like a 48-year-old alcoholic man's shit in her diaper. Like, she was out all night drinking Jaeger, and she went to Denny's and got a Grand Slam. Ate half of it, got in a fight in the parking lot, and passed out in a Pontiac and shit herself. And her friends drove her home with the windows open and dumped her on my lawn. And now I gotta clean it. And it's crazy. And you can't even react. You can't go like, what the fuck? That's disgusting. You'll fuck them up about their own shit. You gotta be nice. You open her diaper, it's just chaos in there. It's just bananas. It's just... every shit amazes me. I'm never used to it. Everyone, I'm like, okay, wow, what is that? You have been eating diarrhea for a week, I think. Because that's awful. But you can't. You gotta be like, you just go, oh, wow. You really got something there, honey? That's really something. That's really okay. Well, all right, let me scrape that off your knees for you. Just get it down off your back. Just get all this hazmat in one place. Wipe you down. Clean your tiny vagina at the end. Who knew that was going to be my life? I had no idea that my relationship to the vagina was going to be cleaning shit out of a tiny one several times a day. They don't tell you that. When you're getting ready to be a dad, nobody pulls you aside and says, you know, you have to clean the vagina a lot because every time she takes a shit, it goes straight up her twat. They don't tell you that. And they should. It's a big part of being a dad. It's bigger than Christmas. It happens every day. And you got to get it right, front to back. It's very important. Now, woo! We get to kill babies! Do some shots and kill some babies. I killed like 4 babies last night. It was fucking retarded. I just think it has to be one or the other. You know, like when people say abortion should be legal, safe, and rare. Why rare if it should be legal? If it should be legal, it's shitting. If it should be rare, it's murdering babies. But again, women should be allowed because 2 reasons I think women should be allowed to kill babies. Number 1, I don't think life is that important. It's just not. It is not. People get too excited. NPR. We always listen to NPR because we're better than you. And so we're listening to NPR at breakfast the other morning, and there's this one story where they kept using this phrase. They kept saying 9/11 deniers. They kept saying that. 9/11 deniers. And my daughter was like, what is that? And I said, well, it's a group of people that think September 11th was a conspiracy. And she said, oh, I thought they were saying 9/11 deniers. Yeah, she thought they meant 9 people who just ain't buying this 11 bullshit. Just a small fringe group, really. There's only 9 of them. But they still got on NPR, they got on the radio because they're dedicated. They protest every day. They're the 9/11 deniers. They're outside of the White House. It goes 10, 12, 13. Just know it. We are the 9/11 deniers. We know that 11 is a bullshit number propagated on the people by the man. Why do we have 11 when we have 13 and 14 and 15 and 16, 17, motherfucking 18 and 19, but we do not have a 1 team? What happened to 1 team? The government took 1 team and replaced it with some bullshit called 11. We are the 9 that deny that shit. Mr. President, give us back 1 team. I don't mean to offend any Chinese people with a stereotype, but... That's right, I'm Chinese, motherfuckers. I lived in Shanghai. I'm Chinese and then a motherfucker. The chopsticks and whatnot. Ha! All right. I'm sorry. Here's the thing. Stereotypes are harmful. That's the truth. But the voices are funny. And I don't know how to reconcile those 2 facts. I enjoy doing the voices, but they're offensive, so I do them at home. I used to do them for my kids when they were little. They liked them. They didn't know it was a race thing. They just enjoyed, Daddy, do the friendly man. You want me to be the friendly man, little girl? We love the friendly man. He loves little white girls, too. Let's have some scrambled eggs. And then I grew up and I was like, don't talk about the friendly man. Maybe don't talk to your teachers about them. My kids go to public school in New York City, and all right, send your kids there then. Teach them that's what life is like. The teachers amaze me because I don't know. This is the worst. Here's the worst thing about this country to me is that there's no more noble profession than to be a public school teacher. It's easily. Please don't. You're not gonna like it. You're not gonna like where it's going. I don't recommend clapping at any things. You'll regret it at the end of the thing. In a democracy, there's no more noble contribution you can make than to teach in a public school. And in this country, the people that do that, they're fucking losers. They're just rock bottom fucking losers. And everybody knows it, but they keep doing it. New people are teaching every day, knowing how shitty it is. They show up, they tell them ahead of time, hi, what is this job? And they say, okay, here's what we need you to do. We need you to make children know math. Wow. Do they want to know math? No, they don't want to know it. You need to make them know it against their will while they're exploding sexually and Who are these children? Just whatever kids live near the building. How much do I get paid? About $10 every 4 years. What if I get really good at it? What happens? Nothing. Nothing happens. Nobody notices, and you get fired, and you die alone. Okay, I'll try it for 25 years. My daughter's learning about Greek mythology, and she was asking me questions about it. She was like, Daddy, who's Achilles' mother? I said, I don't fucking know. Don't ask me that shit. I don't know who Achilles' mother is. Don't yell it out if you know it, please. It's Camp Amputees. Nobody cares what you know. She had a question about Achilles, and it was an interesting question, and I'll tell it to you. But first, the story of Achilles, real quick. Achilles was a baby. He was a Greek baby. And he didn't stay that way, but when he was a Greek baby, his mother, who was a goddess, took him into the river Styx, which is at Hades, the land of the dead. And she dipped him in the water of the river Styx because there was a magical quality to that water that it would make you impervious of any harm. You couldn't be hurt. It was like a shield, right? So she dipped him in that water to protect him. But she held him by the heel. That's the important detail. Held him by the heel, which is an awkward way to hold a baby. By the heel. Try holding a baby by the heel and dipping it in a river. You will never see that baby again.
I lost the baby in the water. I was trying to wash him and he fell in the river. I'm sorry, Miss Achilles, I lost your baby. You told me to hold him by the heel. He's asleep.
Achilles' mother's a Mexican nanny. It's a lesser-known character in the Iliad. Anyway, his mother, she was able to hold on, of course, because she was a goddess. She was the goddess of grip or whatever, I don't know. And she held on, and then he was protected, except on his heel. His heel was not protected, and so that's what we call your Achilles heel, your one vulnerable place. Everybody's got their Achilles heel. Achilles' Achilles heel was his heel. Like, literally. Anyway, so my daughter, here was her question. She said, how come his mother didn't just dip him again? She could have just dipped him one more time with the other leg in there. Did she just like you're like a sign that says one dip per goddess? Did you ever color an Easter egg? It's not that complicated. You dip it, and then you hold it differently and dip it again. Smart kid. I was proud of her. But at the same time, I thought, who the fuck are you to judge this woman?
It bothered me. Because here's what the story of Achilles teaches me, is that if you're a parent, it's never enough what you do for these motherfuckers. It's just never enough. It's still gonna be your fault. How much more do you want from a mother? She dipped her kid in magic water and protected 99% of his body. Is any of it up to him? He could have just wore a big shoe and be careful. But he goes out in sandals, fucking flip-flops, and a sword and fights the whole planet. I'm Achilles because my mother dipped me. Finally, somebody got him in the heel, and he's like, Mom! Thanks a lot, Mom!
I do have one more question.
Oh, okay. He's because we got to get him out of here.
What would be your advice to any young filmmakers or comics who have to deal with the social media content cycle?
Talk directly to Homeless Pimp. This is a question
Social media content cycle?
Yeah, like you're forced to post to be relevant in the algorithm.
That's not true.
You don't think so?
No.
You think
you don't have to.
Right.
It looks like a road to success, but maybe it is for some people. You know, you understand what you're doing with this algorithm is you're trying to get the attention of an artificial brain. It's a really weird endeavor, is to obsess about what will this... An algorithm is if I understand correctly, it's an equation. So you're trying to make that equation pick you up. Like it used to be that you either get obsessed with your own work, like you're just obsessed with your work. You love your jokes or you have a voice you need to get out. But then the other side of the spectrum was wanting to be famous. I want attention. But that used to make people think about what do people like? What do people laugh at? What's appealing?
Right.
And looking at humans and looking at audiences and going, how can I make them get me? Or things like, how can I get the gatekeepers to give me a shot? These were obsessions. Mm-hmm. But now this abstract thing of like, how do I fit? How do I get this artificial brain to spread me to people that don't give a shit if I, the way it used to work is if you do something worthwhile, somebody might see it and share it with a friend. Like clickbait is old fashioned now. Clickbait is kind of Clickbait used to be something that'll get people interested and make people share things.
Right.
But they're not interested in humans sharing anymore. It's about literally fitting some weird, either because you are saying something, either because you're saying something popular that's in those 4 subjects, or and not cursing. All the things people are doing to stay out of the algorithm are weirdly self-sanitizing, fucking sick things to be doing with your work.
Yeah, it's true.
It's the worst thing you could be doing right now, is trying to follow the algorithm, trying to be as much like other people in the algorithm as you can be, and trying to shave away any part of you that might not fit in the keyhole. That's a sick, fucked up thing to do, because the target isn't even a human being. It's not even audiences. It's just it's a computer. It's taking part in something that's really sick. If you go against it and you just don't give a shit and you just keep doing your thing, you live or die by it.
Yeah.
You spend your whole life trying to get listen to what you're saying, forced to post. That's a crazy thing.
Yeah.
And the amount of money that's being made by those companies because you just believe that you are a slave to that. There's no other way. And I saw another comedian get, and the club told me, the club looks at your follower numbers, or else they won't book you. Well, my advice to a comic recently who was saying that, like, I need to get the numbers up so that I can headline. If you call a club and they go, "What's your Instagram?" You go, I don't have one. They'll go, "Excuse me?"
Yeah.
I don't have Twitter and I don't, none of that. What?
Yeah.
I could, send you a tape, or I got a YouTube video, something like that.
Yeah.
All right, I'll watch it. I think